welcome back everyone to the Diecast Dude Racing Network. It's time for Wreckfest. It's been a long time coming, but it is finally here, and we are excited to bring it to you here tonight on the Diecast Dude Racing Network. We've got 5 teams from all around the country. Let's take a look at them and see what we're working with here tonight. First team, the Kentuckiana Crushers. They will be sponsored by JB Weld, and they will be consisting of Big Al, John Receiver, Ricky Spanish, WD-40, and Willie Make It. Next up will be the Michigan Demolition, and they'll be sponsored by Treetop Raceway Park, and they'll be Flying McBrien, Sneaky Bob, Big Bishop, Randall Ferocious, and Dangerous Dawn. Up next would be the Bones Brigade, sponsored by Kenny's Kebab Shop. You like kebabs? And they'll be Biscuit Brown, Lucas, Mr. Dark, Sam Hall, and Lone Star in that number 34 car. And the next team up tonight will be Red Rum, and they'll be sponsored by Johnny's Chop Shop. They'll be the Gray Wizard, Doc, Arlo, DJ, and Daddy G in that number 4 car. Our 5th team will be the Kings of the North, and they'll be sponsored by Bill's Diecast and Hobby Room. Playing with little cars since 1996, they'll be the Crazy Canuck, Marcus Firegone, Blaze, Mad Mike, and Goggles Bazzano. Go over the racing format here for Wreckfest. This is going to be a 2-round event of racing action. It'll be consisting of Wreck-It Relay and the Boneyard Barricade here in round 1. Points will be earned by teams and accumulated through both events of this first round. And round 2 will be held at the Junkyard Joust to determine a winning team. We are going to start off round number 1 with event 1, and it will be Wreck-It Relay. Teams will have to relay down to the finish line, passing through gates 1, gates number 2, and gates number 3. Pass through those gates and you'll grab a point, and how you finish will determine what points you get. Due to our overwhelming number of accidents here on the back straightaway, we have been advised to fix our safety protocols, and we have installed some Slam-In custom guardrails and to keep this track up to par to protect its viewers and its spectators. Now that we've got all that out of the way, we are going to get down to some racing Wreck-It Relay action. We want to meet our first set of drivers. The first group will be the Kings of the North. It'll be number 40, Goggles Pisano, and Mad Mike. They'll be going up against Michigan Demolition. It would be a very good looking set of cars. The second set of relay will start in the chicane. They will get the bump from their teammates from the top, and we are about to get going. We're going to get this game started now. Down and away. We are underway here in Wreckfest. It will be Sneaky Bob. He's going to be up against Goggles Pisanos. They're going to get to the exchange point, and the 55 car Mad Mike gets down and away. He's going to have a point for each gate he goes through, and can he make it to the finish line? He cannot make it to the finish line. He can't even make it to the 3rd gate, but his teammate does. Goggles Pisano saving the day for the Kings of the North. Nothing from the Michigan Demolition. Sneaky Bob stayed at the exchange point, and it looks like Randall Ferocious there, he turned over in the midpoint. Let's see what happens here. A point there for the 55. He gets through turn 3 fine. The battle's in turn 3 between the 40 car and the 58, and you got to do what you got to do. So the 58 collects 1 point for Michigan Demolition. He only gets through 1 gate, 1 point. Meanwhile, up front, the 55 Mad Mike just couldn't get it done. Meanwhile, Goggles Pisano does keep it going. They'll gather 9 points for their first relay. We will switch lanes, and we will run it back again this time. On the inside, it will be the Kings of the North, and on the outside lanes will be Michigan Demolition. Sneaky Bob on the outside, Goggles Pisano on the inside. They're down, they're away. Even Steven through the back straightaway. Sneaky Bob starting to pull away. He gets through the divided 180. They get to the exchange point. All 4 drivers are down the way this time. How will they finish? They are getting through the gates, and it's going to be Sneaky Bob trying to make the pass on his teammate, and that could have been dangerous. This is going to hurt. Connection with the 55 into the 58, and boy, that was tough. No more drivers coming down the mountain. Let's take a look at what happened with the 40 car. He drives just short of gate 2. Just short of gate 2, so he's only going to get 1 point. We see everybody gets through the first gate. We see everybody through turn 3. The 58 car is on his way. Sneaky Bob right behind him. There goes the 55, and the 40 just bouncing off the guardrail. The guardrail's already protecting the fans here in this event, so kudos to Slamman Customs in creating a great product for us right there. Sneaky Bob almost ruined it for the Michigan Demolitia. They get maximum points, 6 points for going through gates. They get the 4 points for first and 3 points for second. And boy, just like that, we are just separated by 1 point. We're going to move on to the next matchup. It's going to feature the 26 and the 51 from Red Rum. They are going up against the 90 and the 9 of the Kentucky Crushers. The Kentuckiana Crushers, I'm sorry. Teams at the starting gate. We are ready to get going. It is lap 1 here in our second race. And it's going to be the number 9 car getting out through the divided 180. He gets up to the exchange very quickly. It's going to be Willie Make It. Willie Make It in line with Ricky Spanish as they get down to the home straightaway, and they will collect maximum points. 13 points going to the Kentuckiana Crushers. Posting a 14.627 so far. That's the quickest time. The 26 doesn't make it through the first gate. Ricky Spanish almost lost the back end there, but he ends up getting through. Red Rum gets 1 car down to the finish line. We see Willie Make It taken off. Ricky Spanish right there behind them. And that's what you want to do in this relay event. You want to get down to the finish line first and second, collect maximum points. And again, a 14.627. Not the fastest one just yet, but we've got plenty more action coming your way. We are going to switch up the lanes this time. The Kentuckiana Crushers, they'll start on the inside lane. Red Rum will start on the outside lane. They're down and away. It's lap number 2 of our second race here. And it's going to be the Kentuckiana Crushers running up to the exchange fairly quickly. Really make it into turn 3. And he looks like he's got that car dialed in as he gets down through the home straight, but he rolls it. And that leaves the door wide open for Willie Make It. Unbelievable. 26 doesn't make it through the divided 180. 0 points for that team. Here we see the 90 car driven by Ricky Spanish. He just rolls it, gets it all wrong. And Willie Make It finds a way to get that car to the finish line. No points for Red Rum. They are going to have to settle for a 5 spot right now. And they find themselves in a deep hole early on. Moving on to our next matchup, it will be the number 20 car and the number 34 of Bones Brigade, the Lucas and Lone Star. They'll be going up against the second relay team in the Kentuckiana Crushers. The 84 John Receiver with the number 3 car alongside him. That's going to be... we don't know who that is. We have no idea who number 3 is. But in any event, we're on our way. Bones Brigade be on the outside. Kentuckiana Crushers, they'll be on the inside. It's WD-40. WD-40. And what a shot. Bones Brigade takes off. Lucas gets all of that as Lone Star just shoves him all the way to the finish line. That's a 12-second time. Everybody makes it to the finish line here. Lone Star late to the exchange, but when they made the connection, he took off. Lucas in that number 20 car took off. John Receiver is the first to the connection. There he is, and you see Lucas just hook off. He passes WD-40 and on to gate 2, into the home stretch and through gate 3 with a lot of speed. And again, the bonus point will be the fastest lap. That's a 12.63. You get an extra point for the fastest lap after all of your teammates have run. We'll see who the fastest relay team was. Good start for Bones Brigade, 11 points right off the top, getting into double digits. So we'll switch the lanes. Number 3 car, WD-40, he'll be on the outside. On the inside lane will be the Bones Brigade with that number 20 car. At the top of the hill, John Receiver at number 84 and Lone Star, they are ready to go. They get the okay to go. They're down and away fairly even. They're through turn 1 and into the back straightaway. Into the divided 180, they make it through the exchange point. Lucas on his way down. WD-40 back there still, but Lucas with a lot of speed. Lucas all the way to the finish line. That's a 12.225. John Receiver connecting with Lucas through the finish line. Dangerous, dangerous driving, if I should say so myself. And the Bones Brigade putting up some fast times early on here. We take a look at that exchange. Everybody's down through the gates. Start moving. We see Lucas is just checked out. He's through gate 2 in a hurry. Almost flies off the track right there. Down into the home straightaway in complete control. No wobbling, no bouncing. He comes in a nice early win. John Receiver doesn't crash into Lucas. He hits the guardrail, saving that Bones Brigade car. And there's your points. The Kentuckiana Crushers are through the relays, and they'll have just the Boneyard Barricade left to accumulate points, so they'll be left with 41. The rest of the team, they'll race next week. It's a good start to Wreckfest. Our time slot's just about up. We'll keep these cars right here, and they'll watch their teammates come on down the track. We'll go ahead and wrap up the Wreck-It Relay next week. We will lead off with an event with Red Rum and Kings of the North. Crazy Canuck in there. Arlo. Looks like the number 77 car. He's in there. 0 car. Who's in that number 0 car? Blaze of the Kings of the North. And after that, we'll do the Boneyard Barricade. So we've got plenty to get to next week. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up with all the racing action. Until next week, we will see you then, folks.